Maybe.
And that's why you always pay the bill. Okay? Every time.
I pay the bill. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Amigos After Dark. I am TJ. That's Adam. And down on the bottom is Chris. The usual suspects are back. Welcome one, welcome all. First of all, Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. 4, Best Podcast 2024, the Illinois Times. Please make sure you put your vote. Voting is open. Open. About
so,
as
wait.
open as a hooker's legs.
You said you pay the bills?
I pay my bills, yeah.
Well, that's why you're an idiot.
Well, not all of us can, drink our way or smoke our way or, fuck our way to the top.
I don't do all that. I just found someone to pay my bills for me.
Yeah, well, no. I cannot find anybody that wants to put up with me that long. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the program. Oh, man. What a week, dude.
We were having a good time, and then all of a sudden I clicked the link to join the show, and she got mad and left.
Really?
Mine hasn't been sitting over in the recliner over there joining me tonight.
Well, at least she's not under your desk.
That's true. Maybe some other time, but not this time. Yet. The episode's not over yet.
Steve might want to see that,
So you guys missed out last week on a hell of a time.
Oh, it looks like it.
Besides you guys seeing me in the tinfoil hat, I actually had to say something I never thought I would say in my life.
Yes, I'll do anything.
Put your tits away. Don't no one want to see that shit.
How many drugs were you on?
Now hold on. Is it from the over amount of drugs he was on, or is it from the under amount? Was he sober?
That's a good question. What's the over under here?
It was actually from the titties.
Why would you tell any set of titties to be put away?
Because they were older than my wife and hanging down to her kneecaps.
No, that's where you go, okay, thank you. I've seen enough. You can roll them back into your bra and lick them in there now.
Well, apparently I'm not the only one that said something because she started covering up after day 2.
Seriously?
Day 2 for the regular crowd, day 3 for me.
Okay.
Because, I got there Tuesday, and I was pissed that other people actually got there before me.
So before we get too much into our conspiracies and some different discussions we're going to have tonight, I want to bring this up. Marvin's daughter sent me this link today. Okay. And it is a GoFundMe link for Marvin's grandson, Jack.
Okay.
And it says, donate to get Jack back on the field, surgery fund organized by Andrea Hill. This is public, and it is a GoFundMe. And Jack is getting a lot of surgeries done so he's going to be able to walk. He's 2 years old.
Oh, that's
yeah, and 2 years old, but this is a chance for him to get him to where he's going to be able to walk. He's going to be able to move forward. He's going to be able to do a lot. And, I'm asking even if you got $1, $5, $10, he's 4 years old. These surgeries are necessary. And, I really would love to see people come together and try to help out with some of these medical costs, because that is a family who has been through a lot. We all love Marvin, they're going through a lot with Marvin alone. They've gone through a lot with Marvin, considering who Marvin is. But this is, this is Jack's he's an absolutely great kid. And I hope that we could get that, get some of that going.
So Marvin has a daughter.
Yeah, Marvin has 2 daughters.
Are Marvin's daughters hot?
Not really.
Yep.
Seriously?
Come on. Honest opinion, TJ.
Dude, I'm not getting into this. Look, I look at Marvin's daughters like relatives. I can't do that. Seriously.
Okay. So are they easy on the eyes?
I am not getting into this.
Do they look like Marvin?
Julie, can I get into this?
Marvin's kids.
Julie gave me permission.
You remember Grown Ups? They had the whole Rob Schneider thing where 3 of his daughters were hot as hell, and then you had the one, that's his kid. I mean, can you tell they're Marvin's daughters, or is it like
I think everybody has positive and negative attributes that can either make them attractive or unattractive to someone. So I don't know what you're looking for here.
TJ
is avoiding the question. They're hot.
Yeah. TJ is dodging this question like the Matrix.
So Marvin's got a couple. So Marvin's got a couple of hot daughters.
I mean, Marvin's got a gene pool. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And it's not a shallow gene pool. But Nicole is an awesome person. All right. More than anything else, I absolutely love talking to Nicole. I especially we don't get to do it very often, but I really enjoy when Nicole and I can both get drunk and talk on the phone, and then we're having drunken ramblings. That's a blast. Because that's like a normal conversation with Marvin when we have those conversations. It is a lot of fun.
Does she prefer Nicole or is she a Nikki?
I've never asked. I've always said Nicole. But again, that's me. Again, how close Marvin and I are and what I think.
I mean, the same could be said of Andrea. I think you said is what her name was. Is it Andrea or is it Andy?
Who?
That depends on what night you're at the club.
Oh, God.
How many drinks did you buy her for?
Oh, man. There has been, like I said, there's been a lot going on. And I think another reason why I enjoy the conversations with Nicole so much, and yes, I know I talk a lot. But and there are times where I'm on the phone with somebody, I'm like, I wish they would kick in a little bit more. Adam spends more time being my sounding board and letting me just kind of vent and cool off.
For TJ to say he talks a lot is an understatement. TJ is the kind of person that'll make a Jehovah's Witness be like, dude, I got shit to do. I know if TJ's calling, I better have a few extra minutes or I'll let him know right off the bat. Hey, dude, I'm kind of busy. Let me call you back when I got time.
Well, dude, if I'm calling, most of the time, if I am calling somebody, I'm sitting here alone, bored out of my skull.
But then again, TJ really don't call me much. No one calls me anymore. I called my brother the other day at 2:00 in the morning. He didn't answer. And I was kind of pissed because my other brother would have answered and been like, dude, where are you partying at?
Chris, I've got to be honest. With the tinfoil hat picture that we've got, this says a lot right there.
Share that for those who have missed it.
You know, people,
we
you can
can.
say you can say weird, whatever. Honestly, I was having fun. I was at a festival. I was wrapping up my dinner. I had the foil in my hand, and I'm like, let's fucking go with it and see what happens. And
You
it
know,
was a blast.
the only thing that could have made that picture worse is if you would have attached the tinfoil hat to an armadillo.
Actually, I wanted to put like a little light on the top of the antenna,
Why am I not surprised?
like a little blinking light.
I swear, you were sitting there like, oh my God. The look is like you're trying to avoid the government being able to read your mind.
We were communicating with the mothership. Get it right.
Yes, for those of you that missed this, while Chris was at Hog Rock, which was a rock and roll festival.
It was a metal festival, but Hog Rock also hosts biker festivals. It's a beautiful campground in the middle of nowhere, southern Illinois.
So, to give you an idea, once the computer decides to catch up. Oh, come on.
Which one do you got? Which one do you got?
I've got the one of you sitting in the camper.
Oh,
there you go. So there's this picture was what I get. I'm sitting at work and this picture comes in, bling, on my phone. And I look at that and I go, what the actual fuck is this?
Hold on, because I'm pretty sure I have another one, a better one.
No, you sent me another one. There's another one. That was the one in our group chat, but you sent me another one of you sitting in a lawn chair. Yeah, there it is.
There we go. There's the better picture. Share that one.
I mean, okay, first thing is I saw that and I'm like, I look at it and I go, my friends are idiots. At least some of them. And then I get this one.
Maybe.
Come on, TJ's internet.
All I can think of
is he trying to be
all
human?
I can think of when I saw that.
Fucking tinfoil hat with a 3-foot antenna coming up.
Nicole says she needs you to stand on her bedroom in her TV, or stand in her bedroom on the TV, so she can get better reception.
Yeah, we can do that. I was at Full Terror Assault, 4 days of drunken lawlessness in Southern Illinois. I was actually there for 5 days. I was mad because Monday night I checked Facebook and there was already 2 people camping out in the woods, and it was too late for me to catch the ferry on Monday night.
Man, I'm telling you what, like I saw that picture and I'm like, I don't know why, but the only thing that could come to my mind when I saw that was you walking around trying to sound like Beaker from the Muppets.
Oh, dude, I never even thought of that.
Oh, God.
But no, I straight up had people, how many channels can you get on that thing? 666. You want to listen?
Oh, God.
Someone came up and asked me a question. Hold on, let me check with the mothership real quick.
I could picture you walking around the whole weekend. Me.
Hey, if you can't have a good time and get a little weird at a metal show,
you're not at the right metal show.
You're not living your life to the fullest extent.
Oh, man. No, I saw that and I'm going, dude, really?
Your take on
Chris,
zombie mutant monster music. I like zombies. Zombies are cool. Oh, dude, but we saw this band. On
Wait a minute.
stage.
Hold on. I want to rewind a second. Just so you
This
like
reminds-
zombies.
Zombies are
This
cool.
reminds me of a conversation we had before, doesn't it?
I mean, I wouldn't want to be friends with a zombie, but I think it'd be cool to have one for a pet.
I mean, are you like you're not attracted to zombies, are you?
No, they'd be like I said, they'd be cool to have as a pet.
So I mean, if you had a chance of like getting a zombie doggy style, would you do it?
No.
I think I know somebody that would.
That zombies don't perform box maintenance.
But it's game. Is that what I'm hearing?
Okay, so who is Nia?
That's Marvin's daughter, and she's going, "What is in your head?"
Okay, some people think they couldn't handle a day in my shoes. You can't handle 5 minutes in my head.
No, Steve is saying Zombie Mutant Monster is a band, and he wants you to check them out.
All right, yeah, I'll check them out.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
but we saw this band. I wish Rage was here
yeah.
right now. Zombies. Because this band's called Elbow Deep. And in the middle of their set, they straight up start a fight. Dude's got a bunch of them fluorescent tube lights taped together, bashes them over dude's head. Cheese grater comes out. Wiffle ball bat with barbed wire comes out.
Oh, I love that song.
I love that song too. That and what was that other one by the Cranberries? Dreams?
Oh, Dreams was fucking awesome.
Yes. Oh my God, I can't even think of her name right now. Dolores Riordan. She had a voice that was just unbelievable.
And I wanted to do her.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I'm just honest about it. I would have.
I mean, I want to do Betty White, so.
Oh, come on, be honest.
Well, not still, but I mean, before she
Wait
died.
a minute. No, actually, that is a good point. So you still want to do Betty White?
I mean, when she was alive, yeah, but I'm not into the whole necrophilia thing.
So you're not going to cold pack Betty White?
No. That's just.
So what if she came back as a zombie?
No, there you go. What if Betty White was a zombie? Would you be attracted then?
No, I would actually try to build a kennel for her.
I wonder if that'd be a dirty zombie.
Keep her as a pet and feed her brains to the people I don't like.
Oh, shit. Well, that's going to be
That's actually a really, really short list. So, I mean, Betty might be hungry.
No, I can make that list longer right now. You know how I could do it?
Oh.
I got to say one word.
The Jetta girl.
Nope. Congress.
Oh, well, fuck. Okay. Betty, you're going to be fed for a while. That's true. I'm not a fan of, I am not a fan of politicians.
I mean, all we got to do is just give you the Illinois General Assembly and the United States Congress. Betty's going to be fed for quite a while.
Yes, I'm not a fan of anyone that tries to tell me how to live my life.
Oh.
Like I said,
man.
as Lemmy did, I will choose to live my life my way.
Well,
as long as my wife says it's okay.
As long as your wife says it's okay. See, that's the downside to not paying your own bills.
Steve would do Betty White, yeah.
Steve, would you still do Betty White? That's the question.
Would you take a shovel and get Betty White?
Hey, you got to be careful. I don't want you getting in trouble at your job.
Oh,
you
man.
have to be careful.
Steve, I'll tell you what, man. I think I'm ready for this challenge. I was driving down the road the other day, and I lit one up. And next thing you know, it was like Cheech and Chong. I could not see my dashboard. I had such a cloud in the car.
Oh, what am I going to do with you?
Roll down the windows and let some air through. Yes,
Bad Wolf,
and
yes, Bad Wolf did have a very good cover to it, but
they had an amazing cover, and all of their proceeds from that song went to the Dolores Riordan estate to take care of her remaining children and whatnot.
But I'm telling you, I mean, if I had to choose between and this is Corey in the Facebook chat saying that, Bad Wolf had a great cover to Zombie that the Cranberries did back in the 90s. But if I had to choose again, Bad Wolf did have a great cover, but I'm still going to go with the original.
Yeah, I mean, you can cover something all day long, but a cover, there are very few covers that beat the original.
Yes, I agree.
And I got to say, one of my favorite covers that beats the original, that the original person never even sang, is Chris Cornell's Nothing Compares.
I would say I would say that one of my favorite covers, honestly, and I'm tossed on which one I'd rather listen to because, as you guys know, I'm a Beatle maniac. I love listening to the Beatles.
Yeah.
All right. I don't deny it, but Aerosmith did a cover of Come Together.
Story. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Hurt by Johnny Cash was a great cover. Aerosmith covered Come Together by the Beatles. And I'm really tossed because I love the original version by the Beatles, but that version by Aerosmith was comparable. It was very close. It was comparable.
Did you know Trent Reznor is not a fan of other people covering his songs, does not want other people to cover his music, but when he heard Johnny Cash do it, he said, "You better have recorded that."
Yeah, see?
Well, Trent Reznor even said that Johnny Cash can just have it after hearing Johnny Cash's version.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
Nicole, who would not do Stevie Nicks? I mean, I would do Stevie Nicks.
Shit, I think me and my wife were just talking about that earlier.
Are you getting in my head again?
We were going down the road and the Traveling Wilburys was on, and I started just naming off fun facts how Stevie Nicks was the only female member of the Traveling Wilburys, although she wasn't a member, she was an honoree.
Oh,
Steven Tyler looks like someone's grandma.
Damn, I was hoping Stevie Nicks. I'm like, man, everybody would do Stevie Nicks.
Yes, Trent Reznor said that song is no longer his.
Yeah, Johnny Cash just knocked it out the park.
Yeah, Steven Tyler, like, he looks worse than my grandma.
He's probably got bigger lips.
Right? And boobs.
Dude. Elk, this goes back to... You want to talk about going back to the 90s. Do you remember the old claymation show on MTV, Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
The Battle of the Rock and Roll Lips. Steven Tyler versus Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger, Rolling Stones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat, what are you doing?
Hey, there's a pussy in the way.
Big fat hairy one.
Nicole says, "I'm 1 foot in the grave, but she'd still do Steven Tyler." And Corey says
he is the only person. He is the only person in the world that got away with ripping off the mob.
That's true. I still, when I look at the albums by Aerosmith, man, I've got a couple of them that they're right there. They rank all the time. Obviously the Pump album is one of my all-time favorites. And I can't remember the name of the album, but it's got the Dude Looks Like a Lady on it. It's got
Slippery When Wet. No, that was Bon Jovi.
That was Bon Jovi. No, I'm trying to remember the name of the album. There's Ragdoll is on it.
Rocks? Hot Rocks? No, that
ain't it. No. Yeah, God, now I'm going nuts. I can't remember what the name of that album is.
Aerosmith album that had Dude Looks Like a Lady.
There you go. Look it up.
Permanent Vacation.
Permanent Vacation. But that's another one I really love. You know, and one song that I could think of that is really, the Aerosmith did, but it's really underrated, and it was in the early days, Kings and Queens.
Ooh, yeah. So
Dude.
I found out, watch out, Cat. I've heard Chris eats it like a Haitian.
Chris isn't in Cleveland.
So I learned that if you're on an airplane and it gets on the runway, if you start the intro for Sweet Emotion, by the time they start the lyrics, that's how long it takes to go down the runway.
I've got to try that.
I think that also depends on the airport too, because that one
listening to Sweet Emotion.
Well, Sweet Emotion is one of them that everybody knows.
Half the budget for Dazed and Confused was spent on that song.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember in the mid-90s, you guys probably remember this, but when what was the album it was the one that had Living on the Edge. But remember when Living on the Edge dropped as a single? It was Eat the Rich was the album.
Aerosmith album with Living on the Edge.
I think it was Eat the Rich.
Get a Grip.
Get a Grip. Okay. Well, Eat the Rich was on that album, but remember when Living on the Edge dropped back in the mid-90s and how that kind of, Aerosmith was kind of getting that soft sound, and then they hit Living on the Edge hit, and then it turned it back.
And that music video was just phenomenal.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Back when MTV still kind of played music videos.
And that music video was even better when Beavis and Butthead were narrating it.
That really, truly, I believe Beavis and Butthead and Headbangers Ball was the end of the music video era.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I mean, VH1 isn't even doing music videos anymore.
They brought back Headbangers Ball.
VH1 did bring back Headbangers Ball?
Yes, they have Headbangers Ball again.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised to hear that.
But I mean,
it's on late at night, but it's there.
But I mean, it's one of those things where it's forcing me to face my age. Like, you guys, we remember, my daughter is not an individual that would remember this, but we remember how important it really was for all of us. We knew something was getting ready to drop, to sit down and catch that video on MTV.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to get in trouble, but I'm going to say, to hell with Tabitha Zorn and to hell with Kurt Loder.
Okay.
Like, I remember watching MTV, and then you see a premiere music video.
Yeah.
And
and you're like,
because they did try to bring back the music video with TRL.
Yeah. Total.
But then,
no, I mean, I could go on. Don't get me wrong. I could go on to YouTube and still get music videos.
Yeah, but they're not.
But it's not like when we used to sit there.
Yeah, you get the little fucking thing in the bottom corner that tells you the name of the song, the artist, the label.
Okay, the one that always kind of freaked me out was the first time I saw Primus's Winona's Big Brown Beaver music video.
The dude with the big cowboy hat.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that song.
I love Primus.
Yeah.
Pork Soda. That was a kick-ass album.
I remember that one.
I believe that was the album that had Winona's Big Brown Beaver. Jerry was a race car driver. Tommy the Cat.
I think you're absolutely right.
My name is Mud. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, again, we're sitting here, we're watching it. One of my coworkers and I actually were discussing this last night. And it was like, back in our day, God, I feel old just saying that. Steve, do things get better as we get older? Please answer.
You're asking Steve? What? Come on,
well, well, according to this younger generation, we were born in the late 1900s.
Yeah, technically.
You know what?
Wrong.
They can fuck off.
That's what I said. You could eat a fat dick, that late 1900s shit.
No shit.
It's like, what? You guys aren't Highlanders too? Come on.
They wouldn't even begin to know what Highlander is.
No kidding. I mean, come on. We are the generation that grew up on Xena Warrior Princess, for crying out loud. And we were all waiting to see what was under that skirt and that top.
I think we all wanted to see Xena and Gabrielle kind of make out.
Oh, yeah. That would have been great.
Actually, I was more into Topanga.
Yeah, I would have done Topanga.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done Topanga in a heartbeat.
Still would.
Yeah. I mean, Boy Meets World. We remember Family Matters. We remember the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Full House.
Yeah. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, I can remember that Family Matters was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers.
Yep.
Like, listen, I remember You Can't Do That on Television in the original Double Dare on Nickelodeon.
Dude,
God,
I on Paramount Plus, they have Are You Afraid of the Dark? Salute Your Shorts.
Oh, I love Salute Your Shorts.
And maybe not everyone's into it, but I liked it back in the day. Hey, dude.
I was gonna say that.
Oh.
All three are on my watch list on Paramount Plus.
Oh, dude, don't forget The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
I couldn't find Pete and Pete.
Really?
With the dancing tattoo.
Yeah.
But I did find Doug.
Oh my
that's
God.
Also on my watch list now. Doug Funny and Patty Mayonnaise.
That 90s show actually referenced Doug in his last drop. Winnie from the Wonder Years. Yeah, I would have done Winnie from the Wonder Years. Hell yeah. But, you know, again, we are that generation. So we were talking about, my coworker and I were discussing this. And I said, you know, our generation.
We had TGIF.
Yeah, we had TGIF. We were experimenting with drugs. We were listening to real music. We would ride our bicycles to go meet up with each other somewhere. We had to drag the phone across the living room on the 40-foot cord to be able to look out the front window. You know, and when we slammed the phone down because we were mad, the guy on the other end heard it.
So I had to go exchange my motorcycle battery the other day.
Oh,
and they got at O'Reilly's phone number. So I gave him my phone number. I said, why? What's up? You want to go ride bikes? Give me a call.
But you get what I'm saying? Is like we had all of this different stuff. And somehow, I'm still trying to figure it out. Somehow. Well, I mean, I'm not figuring out how the first part of what I'm going to say happened. I know how that happened. First, we discovered sex and we realized it feels really good. And then our generation procreated. I was really hoping when that started happening that we were passing on positive genetics that would carry on and move forward. I'm now beginning to come to a theory that instead we passed off the residual drug residue and we created condom snorting, Tide Pod eating sycophants that.
No, that's not our generation's fault. That's our parents' generation's fault.
How is it our parents' generation's fault?
Leaded gasoline.
Really? You're going to go with leaded gas?
We're still breathing that shit in.
You ate leaded paint chips.
Had to eat something. Fuck.
I mean, I heard about you dipping those leaded paint chips in mustard and going, what a meal.
No, it was the sour cream chip dip.
Oh.
God damn it. If you're going to tell the story, tell it right.
But you get what I'm saying, is it's like our generation, not stupid. And our generation still experiences life. Even to this day, we're out there experiencing life. Hell, look at me and Chris. We go out and ride a motorcycle all the time.
Yeah. I just got back from a 5-day music festival. I maybe took a dozen pictures because I didn't give a shit about my phone. I wanted to see the bands and I wanted to talk to people.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to feel something that didn't come with having a device in my hand. Hell,
dude,
my phone stayed up at the campsite.
I get asked all the time, why do you go up to the bar so much? Because I'm around my friends.
Yeah.
We shoot pool, we talk, we interact.
I'll tell you what,
I
can go to the bar and I can sit there for 4 hours and just talk to people and not have a single drink.
I could go to the bar and spend $100.
Well, I could do that too.
I mean, it's pretty easy. Corey makes a valid point. Our generation was the last one without the internet and without cell phones. They were actually being invented during our upbringing.
Yeah, no,
actually, the internet has been around since the 70s. It wasn't made public until the 80s, and it wasn't in everyone's home until the 90s.
Right.
But we were around before you had to wait and call someone back during nights and weekends from a cell phone.
Oh, God, yeah, right?
I remember playing Oregon Trail on a floppy disk.
Yeah, I remember that.
Totally.
I remember that very, very quickly.
No, it wasn't a floppy disk. The floppy disk was actually the one that wasn't floppy. It was like the 3.5 millimeter disk or something like that.
Oh God, yeah, the one that had the hard case around it. It was still a floppy disk, but if you ever took one of them apart, it was, which I did.
No, the one that had it was an all black square and it was really thin, and then it had like a black circle in the middle that was like a vinyl type material, like a cassette tape or something.
Yeah, it was kind of but yeah, it was a plastic case that you just stuck the whole thing in there, but it still had the floppy disk inside.
Dude, I wish I still had that computer.
What, the Apple Macintosh 2E?
The Apple II.
Oh my God.
Do you know what that computer is worth today?
No.
Those are a highly sought after collector's item worth up to a couple $1,000.
Wonder what my old ColecoVision is worth.
Oh, shit. You still got it?
Yeah, I think I've got it in my parents' attic.
Probably like $600-700 on eBay.
No shit.
Yeah.
Amazon, yeah.
Here's a sound from our past and us growing up.
Don't you dare. Don't do a dial-up. If I hear... God. Fuck, I hate that sound.
That was back when you needed like another AOL disc every 30 to 60 hours.
You almost needed a dedicated phone line.
And if your brother picked up the phone, your internet was dropped.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, God. Steve says that his grandma was a bridge builder and had one of the first cell phones. It took up the whole trunk of a 60s Buick.
Now,
I'm pretty sure you could fit 2 bodies in the back of the 60s Buick.
Oh, more if you cut them up
more
right.
than that.
Yeah.
Shit. My first car ever was a 62 Buick LeSabre. First year they ever came out with the LeSabre.
People in that trunk.
We could have fit my size skinny guys like me, you, Adam, 8 of us, easy.
Yeah. No, skinny guys is 10. It's 8 fat guys you could put in the back of a Buick like that.
Fat guys was more like 6.
I'll meet you in the middle and say 7.
Yeah,
A 6-pack of Steves.
I mean, if it was like Andre the Giant, you might get 3 of them.
Right.
Okay.
But no, God, I remember that old dial-up.
So I will say this.
I
about
used
our
to have
generation. Go ahead,
what was
Chris.
called the Motorola Brick,
Oh,
which was
God.
basically a phone in a case, and
Yeah.
it weighed about 8 pounds, and you could
Yeah.
plug it into your car.
I used to
Now-
have one of the old bag phones.
Yeah,
I
the
actually
Motorola
had,
Brick came in
No,
a bag.
and this thing had like a car battery attached to it.
Yep.
Now, the most reliable phone I ever had was my Nokia.
Yeah, the indestructible one.
Yeah, my first old school Nokia.
We finally found a way to smash one.
What'd it take? D9 bulldozer?
10,000-pound press.
Oh, shit.
It fucking did. Dude, it took some cranking on it, but we smashed it.
Dude, it really lasted?
It lasted, yeah. Like we were
Wow.
cranking. We had a piece of steel down, then the phone, and then another piece of steel, and we were actually cranking on the press.
Well, it's not like
before
these
it
damn
finally
phones.
just boom exploded.
It's not like these damn phones we got now where you look at them and they crack.
Right?
Yeah.
You walk
I mean-
out the store, the fucking wind hits it, and you messed up your screen.
Yeah.
No. That old Nokia, you could throw that thing at somebody you don't like, and it's going to knock them out. Look, and then you
Dude.
pick up the phone and make a phone call and go, "Hey, I'm on my way over to your place."
I
It's like-
accidentally dropped one in the toilet one day.
Try
And
it
we
out.
heard
It
it.
works next day.
We heard it ringing and vibrating all down the pipe going out of the house. Come 5 years later, they go to get the septic pumped, and one of the things they found in the pipe was that Nokia phone.
Oh my God! Did it still work after you cleaned it up and charged it up?
I don't know. I had nothing to do with it. They said they found it. I just said, cool.
Yeah, I swear you could drop that phone on the concrete and it would dent the concrete.
I think
Yeah.
you did. Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but did you guys ever wonder why they even made a case for it? It didn't need it.
And no,
Not
it
for
didn't.
protection anyway.
The only cases I ever had for it was the soft cases.
Yeah, that's all I ever had.
Yeah, it's like they
I
had
mean-
like a leather case that sometimes had a belt hook on it.
Right.
I mean, we
It
did
wasn't
an experiment where
protection.
we laid one down on the ground and went over it with the Dodge Ram 3500.
And it didn't crack it.
Didn't even phase the phone. The phone said, "What else you got?"
Yeah. Corey says that Nokia is a Finnish word for indestructible.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
could. But you had the Nokia, all right. I remember the and Chris, you probably remember these too. Remember the Nextels?
Beep beep. Where you at?
Yeah, the old. It was like a walkie-talkie phone.
Yeah.
It was actually that phone that saved my ass one night.
I believe it.
Someone actually hit me up and they went and robbed a bar and wanted me to come party with them. And I'm like, dude, I'm
Shit.
babysitting. I had an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. I was sitting there babysitting.
Right.
And I actually got arrested for it. I was charged for it and I beat it in court because one of the things was they tracked where my phone was that night. And it turned out I was 40 miles away sitting in a spot all night long.
You could have easily looked up and said, I was sitting on a corner in Winslow, Arizona.
Well, if you know the difference, the robbery happened in Morris, Illinois, and
Mhm.
I was at a farmhouse 12 miles south of Dwight, which means I was
Oh, yeah,
literally
you were damn near at
40,
the Pontiac.
45 miles away.
You were damn near in the Pontiac.
Yeah.
Which that would have been it there. No, that absolutely you're. But you see what I mean? Like we've seen our generation has seen all these advances.
But to finish that one, I did beat it in court, so
I really thought that like one of the greatest advances they came up with was the Tide Pod. Until the younger generation decided that they tasted good.
it looks delicious.
It looks too much like candy.
I have no clue where this younger generation decided that snorting a condom was a good idea.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I believe that actually goes back to cell phones, because that everyone has a cell phone in their hands. It really has dumbed down the people. No one knows how to look something up anymore. If your cell phone fails, if the technology grid goes down, you people that were born after 1990, you're fucked.
I mean, the three of us, we and you guys in the chat room, I'm sure a lot of them are our generation, but we still remember the Dewey Decimal System.
Yep.
Yes.
We know how to go into a library, look it up in Card Index by Dewey Decimal System, and go find what we need to see
using a number.
Yes.
Honestly, and I've said if the grid breaks down, you'll find me sitting there with the generator and a CB.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Totally right. Good luck for anyone younger than us to read a road map.
Honestly, Corey, I love going on Google Maps and just looking at shit. My father was a career truck driver. By the time I was 8 years old, I basically knew my way around the United States just from sitting in the truck looking at his atlases.
I mean, I've still got one in the coach that is a truck driver's road atlas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got one around here.
Now, don't get me wrong. Do I have a GPS? Yes, I have a GPS. But I've got the atlas there in case the GPS breaks.
Yeah.
You know, it's simple mathematics.
In 2007, I basically traveled Route 66 using a Rand McNally road atlas.
Mm-hmm. So no, I sit here and I look at that and I'm thinking about it. And then I'm like, okay, there's a flip side to this coin. And this is part of something I wanted to get into tonight and discuss. And that is the flip side of this coin is our generation is now getting to that age where we are all losing a lot. And as you guys both know, and I haven't really made it very public, and I'm not going to get into a whole lot of gory details, but Adam knows probably more of the details than anybody. Chris is sort of up to speed to a certain extent, but me personally, over the last probably month, I have been under this mental and emotional cannon that's just been pretty much aimed at my head with everything going on around me. And I would say even to the point that there are a couple of times a week that I am right on the virtual edge of breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much standing on a frozen lake and weight just gets put on and cracks just keep forming. And yeah, there's a lot of shit on that.
I've got to be very honest, as at this point, with everything that's going on, I'm surprised at myself and how I'm holding everything together. And I haven't gone completely off the rails, taken off, went and hit a strip club, bought up a fucking ounce of coke on the way in the door so I could snort it off a stripper's asses while I'm pounding whatever fucking alcohol I can pound, and then make a beeline to Mexico. You know, I mean, I'm surprised I haven't done it.
Why not?
I'm surprised I haven't gone on a homicidal rampage. I'm surprised I haven't. I'm actually very surprised. I'm surprised I haven't had any suicidal ideations.
Honestly, that's why I go to music festivals.
There's so much that's so intense right now that I can't break away.
Got to find an outlet.
That's why I spend a lot of my time on my bike.
I would say motorcycle riding, music festivals.
Yeah.
That's all therapy to me.
Now, of course, the last 2 weeks, I haven't had the time on the bike because I was waiting on paychecks to come in and I was broke and I was dealing with that. So then I didn't even have the bike. I've literally been sitting here dealing with problem after problem after problem after problem after problem. And then I'm getting, for all intents and purposes, I was basically getting attacked by my daughter. And I finally snapped. And I bit back at her. So then she blocks me. And I'm going, which kind of why I was kind of getting into the whole generational situation there is it's like, wait a minute. I listen to, and Adam will attest to this. I listen to everybody else's problems all the time. All the time. I absorb it. I'm listening. I'm trying to figure out how to help all the time. And I was sitting here in my recliner staring at my TV that I can't turn on until I fix the electrical on the front of the coach. My good big TV, you know, the one I really like.
Yeah.
And I was thinking on it and I went, you know, other than my conversations with Adam and once in a while with Chris, and my uncle that that lives down here. Really, I don't have a release at all. And everybody turns and dumps it all on me because I listen and I try to help them figure it out. But I really do. I mean, even my girlfriend right now, she is so buried in her own shit. I can't talk to her about my problems. Because quite frankly, if I do, she's hanging up the phone. She is too busy with everything that's going on up there. And my problems to her are insignificant.
Yeah, I mean, when you call me, I've had times where I haven't had that vent, where I haven't had that person I could talk to.
Right.
And with the stuff I go through, like for the listeners who don't know, I'm diagnosed with depression. I have suicidal ideations every day, whether it's a good day or not. It's always there for me. So I know what it's like to be without the support. So TJ, when you call me, I know you need to talk.
Yeah.
So I try to be there.
But I mean, you get what I'm saying is there's I really hope Steve is listening because I know Steve goes through a lot. I know Corey goes through a lot. I know Nicole is bombarded right now emotionally. And there again, it's like I don't have the people that I can turn to. Or that I shouldn't say that I don't have the people I can turn to. I don't have the people I feel comfortable turning to because I know they've got a bunch of their own shit. Like Chris right now is dealing with everything with his job and, healing up and everything that happened. And I don't feel comfortable picking up the phone, Chris, and talking to you about what's going on in my life. But like when I go to say something and my daughter's just unloading and unloading and unloading and unloading and not even asking me. Is this something that maybe she can, is this something that maybe it's going to come back and it's going to affect me to a point where I'm going to lose it? It's just unload, 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 unload. And then it starts attacking at different people that I'm being affected by right now. And I snap back. Oh, well, then you know what? Fuck you, block. There's no consideration of the other side. That's something else I think this next generation is failing at. And failing at miserably is they don't consider what that other side is going through. They don't even think to ask. It's just and dump it all on us.
It's a lot of, it's all about me. I don't care about you, because the issue has to be from my point of view only. I can't take into account what other people did to get them to do what they did to me. It just doesn't matter.
Well, and Adam, you do act as my sounding board a lot. Let me ask you a question, a very honest question.
Okay.
How often, when we are having a conversation, do I ask you about what's going on in your life?
Usually you try to start our conversations like that. You always want to check on me, and I usually, I'll answer to the best of my ability.
Right.
At the beginning, knowing full well that we're going to discuss what's going on with you. But that gives me the opportunity to let you know what's going on with me, because I really don't call, really. Like,
Well,
anyway.
and I'll say, TJ, you said I got a lot going on and blah blah blah, but I'll straight up say nothing I am doing is ever too important to take a minute for a friend.
Yeah, and I know that, but I know maybe it's my own mental capacity where I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't want to overload somebody else with the burdens that I'm facing currently.
No one wants to make someone else feel like a burden, or you don't want to feel like a burden on someone else.
Right. And I mean, most of the time I do. I grin and bear it. I grin and bear it.
Well, and also I know there's times where you just need to rant and let off some steam, and you've called me to do that, and I just put the phone on, I put it on speakerphone and set it down and fucking do shit around the house while listening to TJ rant.
Dude, I gotta admit, I actually did hit a spot a couple weeks ago where it built up and it hit a head, right? And I ended up going out and I got pretty lit. I'm not going to say I was full blown hammered, but I got pretty lit and I was on the bike. And I took off and I rode through a construction zone at probably about 90. And I'm grabbing everything she had. And I didn't care. I didn't care. I'm like, tire goes, I flip this thing, I end up into the side of Lookout Mountain, whatever. I let her rip. But it allowed me to actually blow off some of that steam, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, long and the short, the fact of the matter is I always try to make sure that there's not so much on somebody else that if I need to unload it, that I'm not going to overtax them. And like I said, Adam is very well aware of what's going on. Chris has got a roundabout idea because we haven't had a chance to talk much. But Adam, what would you say about the different strains I'm under right now?
You are under a lot, but you also keep yourself very, very busy. Whether it's planning out steps you need to do for certain things coming up, or sometimes I feel like you tell me to remind yourself of the
Yeah, I
things
really
you
do.
need to do. And that's okay, because reminding yourself is sometimes difficult unless you're bouncing it off a friend.
Right.
And then who knows, maybe I have an idea that might take. Usually doesn't, but it might take. And but having someone there that you can talk to, especially when you're under as much stress
Mm.
as you are, is very important. And I'm sure I can speak for Chris on this. I'd much rather you call me than not and something bad happen. I'd rather you talk to me
Yeah, I'd
now.
rather talk to you today than deliver your eulogy tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny you say that because let's face the facts. Coming up here soon, I'm going to have to deliver a eulogy. And I've got to deliver it for one of my best friends. I've got to deliver that for Rage. I mean, that has not been something that's been easy to navigate.
Yeah.
It's been very painful. And, I know that there are people out there that despise Rage and they unknowingly despise the character. Because when you see Rage, you see the character.
Rage is a good dude.
Rage is always, whenever he is in anything that is a public forum, he is always the character. Get to know the man behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That is, like when Chris and I first discussed doing Amigos, one of the things that we said is it's time to pull back the curtain. It's time to get rid of the characters. It's time to just be ourselves. Wasn't that our agreement?
That is, but I mean, Chronic Chris kind of is more than a character. It is who I am. I love to smoke pot and listen to music.
Yeah, but
that's the character. So the character is me.
And right now what you're getting at this point is like you still get a little bit of, my smart ass side and I've got a pretty substantial smart ass side. We'll all admit that.
But we are getting serious about some shit, and it's.
But the fact is we agreed when we started Mayhem's Amigos and when we decided to branch off to this, and expand the program, that curtain had to come back. We had to show who we really are and be human. I guess my question, in a roundabout way of explaining the situation without getting into it, and you guys confirming the massive amount of stress that I'm under, is where, in your opinions, would you feel like the line is? Where is that line where you finally have to just break and say something?
I'd imagine the line is kind of different for all of us because of the tolerances we have in the situations. Like for me, just with my ex, dealing with her, I was with her for almost 15 years before I chose to leave. for my own happiness. There was just a line there. My needs, as varied as they were, just weren't getting met, and there was no compromise.
That's what I'm saying, Adam. You know, I'm generally a go with it kind of guy. But if we're going to do something that I don't want to do or does not make me happy, I'm not doing it. And I'll be the first to say so. Hey, I don't want to fucking do that. Hey, I'm not happy with this, you know?
Right.
And I mean, TJ and I have had conversations about one of my friends. And when I feel like it gets up to a line, I say something. But other than that, if TJ has a comment about that friend, sometimes I just have to let it go, because TJ's relationship with that person and my relationship with that person is not the same.
Too wildly different.
I did not. Yeah. So sometimes I gotta just let the vent happen. But otherwise, you know, and it's the same thing when I'm talking to that friend. I have to just let them vent about the situation as well and just deal with it. Because if I don't, I put myself in the middle of two friends, and, you know,
right.
It's just a bad place to be.
All my friends know from the get-go, don't put me in the middle of shit, don't bring me into drama, and don't try to make me pick.
Yeah, that's been my one thing, and I think TJ remembers that. It's like, don't make me pick, because whoever does will lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm very open about that with TJ, and I've been very open about that with the other person. And I hope both of you, as much as I can.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't want to have to choose.
No.
So I choose to be a listener. I choose to let you guys vent. And if it crosses a line, I'll determine that when and if it happens. But the situations don't really involve me specifically.
Right.
So,
well, like I said, that situation is in all honesty, we've done so well rebuilding all of this that particular situation in my mind is honestly a moot point. The fact is it's something that I aim at as a coping mechanism, to have something to let something out.
Yeah, but it's become a lot less of a subject that we've talked about.
Right.
You know,
it is such a moot point in the grand scheme of things at this juncture that it is what it is. Again, we've been over details, and Adam, I think by listening to both now, you've got a pretty damn good idea what happened.
Yeah.
And I don't think I need to go any farther, because, and even I will admit, and Adam will attest to this, when I know I'm wrong, I will stand there and admit that I am wrong. And there are certain aspects of that situation where I was wrong. And I have admitted that I was wrong. The grand scheme of things on that, as it was also handled completely wrong.
Yeah. And you see, from being in the middle, I have a unique point that I can see your point of view, and I've got to listen to other points of view as well. So I can understand the whole situation, right, but I understand like what your take on it is and what my friend's take on it is, and other people as well who were involved.
Yep.
So my understanding of it, I would like to think it's very good.
Yeah, I think based on what you've described to me about that, and we're kind of getting off subject, but I'll wrap it with this. what you have described to me on that and our discussions, I think we've got it pretty well mapped out.
Yeah.
And the long,
The
the long and the short of it at the end of the day is it was a shit sandwich and I got to eat it.
Yeah. And there's nothing that can be done now at this point that's going to change it. The situation is just kind of, it is
There.
where it's at. It's not going to change. So we continue on.
Yeah. I mean,
And
like I said, I'm going to leave it at that. That's kind of the end. But what I'm getting at is the mental health aspect of life. And that was more where I was going with this.
okay.
It is, you know, I used to have what I thought was a group of people that I could pick up the phone to any one of them and let some of this out and discuss it. And that particular group of people, honestly, I think they're waiting for the day when I'm under so much pressure that I empty my brains all over the back of my coach. I think they're cheering for it, actually. I have family and friends that are dealing with multiple medical issues. Some very close. I have a job that I have gotten into that I'm very good at, that I gave up a teaching job to get back into that I was also very good at. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on the line, guys. Here it is. I'm not eating like I should. I'm working myself into the ground. I'm not sleeping real well. I have multiple fires that I'm trying to put out at any given moment in time. I'm trying to repair my home. I'm helping out as I should with family and with friends and different things that are going on around all over the place. And now we're going to add a little insult to injury on something I found out just today, that one of my best friends, one of my closest childhood friends, I found out today that he was convicted of killing a postal worker while under the influence of meth in McLean, Illinois, and he was sentenced to 10 years. And this is a friend who took a over 20-year-long friendship, almost 30 years, and flushed it down the toilet over politics. No, I take it back. Let me see. Let me do the math here.
So he got 10 years for killing
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah.
And Illinois, he'll be out in 8.
Yeah.
Well, say good behavior is usually half.
No, Illinois, if
Illinois
it's a
is not
violent crime, it's automatically 85%. But then you do still get an extra 6 months, which takes it to 80%. He'll be out in 8 years.
right.
Okay.
But I mean, follow me through here. Again, this was one of my best friends. Never once would I have ever thought that he would have picked that shit up. He was a master machinist, married one of the most beautiful girls that we went to school with, 3 wonderful children. And that damn decision flushed all of it. And I've been sitting here, and me sleeping during the day, I'm up and down all the time.
Yeah.
But I've been sitting here just debating all day. Do I write a letter and send it to him? Or do I let the sleeping dog lie?
I guess it depends on what you're wanting to say to them. And I mean, that's something that only you are really going to know. I mean, we can talk about it after the cameras are off,
Right.
but
I mean, the long and the short of it, and what I would say to him is, I know what you did. But I'm here.
Yeah.
We're still brothers. I'm here. No matter what happened and I mean, don't get me wrong. This is somebody that we would get to a point where it was a knockdown, drag out fist fight in the front yard.
okay.
And after we were done trying to put each other in the hospital, what are we fighting about? I don't know. Let's get a beer. That's a good idea. I mean, that's who we were. And I'm sure you guys remember this back in 2020 after the last election and the whole blow up on my Facebook page about it. Because it was like, all right, he was elected. Let's see what he's going to do. And that's all I said. And he started going off on me and accusing me of voting for this moron. And I'm like, I never said I voted for him. Matter of fact, I didn't vote for either one of them in that election. I did a write-in. And my write-in was for Chance Jackson out of Chicago. Why? Because he wants to get rid of child support and give us all more guns.
Cash Jackson, yeah. I voted for Kanye because he was on our ballot.
Yeah, I wrote in Cash Jackson, and I wish he would run.
He does run, but the Libertarian Party never makes it.
Yeah, I know, right? But you get the
Alice Cooper's been running since 78.
I think the next one I'm going to vote for is Howard Stern.
I would vote for Alice Cooper in a heartbeat.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'd vote for Alice Cooper right now.
Well, and they say is what we need is to have a broke motherfucker be president. But the way it is set up for running for president, a broke motherfucker will never be able to do it.
No.
Yep.
It cost $8,000 just to get your name on a ballot.
Yeah.
Think about that, people.
Okay. I got a
hypothetical, guys. If you're going to vote for, let's say, Alice Cooper, who should be his running mate?
Ted Schneider.
Nuge.
Or Nuge.
If it was Cooper Nuge, fuck, man.
Cooper Schneider. And the reason I say D. Schneider is because me and my wife were just talking about it earlier. Back in the day, the PMRC, the only two that actually had the balls to stand up for musicians were that weirdo Frank Zappa and D. Schneider. Those were the only two musicians that actually went up in front of Congress and argued with Tipper Gore and the PMRC about content.
What's happening, Mike?
Censorship.
What's up, Mike?
But yeah, I mean, you get what I'm saying. It was just, yeah, wow.
Politics is bullshit.
I agree. Oh, damn you. I wanted you to stop.
And the news ain't nothing but propaganda.
No argument there at all.
Yeah. All you have to do is
argument
look
there
to
at all.
who owns the news outlet. And that's the way that news slants.
I blame Ted Turner. I blame Ted Turner because he sold WCW.
Because he sold WCW. Why?
I don't know. It just sounded good.
Didn't he own? Yeah, he owned the Atlanta Braves. He owned TNT.
Oh God, Ted Turner back in the 90s owned everything.
Yeah. He basically owned pretty much all of the media.
Yeah.
But he ended up selling it all to Disney. Through different corporations, but yeah, we know who runs the media. We know who runs the show.
I think he sold a little bit of Little Turner too to go into the back door.
Harvey Weinstein, his conviction was overturned and they're recharging him.
Yeah, I saw that in the news. You want to go ahead and expand on that a little bit?
Well, it just popped up in my little news bubble here. So let's
That should be right there on the AP.
ooh.
The Chronic
17
News.
U.S. states likely to see northern lights tonight.
Texas is not one of them.
Texas is not one of them. No, I can't find the damn thing. Why does it want to pop up in my little bubble and then I click on it and I can't find it?
Clickbait.
What the hell?
Probably.
So here we are. We're waiting on the news, and Chris's computer goes.
Them fuckers are wanting to cook up some cheeseburgers, but they don't want to feed me.
Right. And they're not even adding bacon either.
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh my God. So, fuck Harvey Weinstein. So,
no.
I was off. No. Well,
no.
He'll get you a career. He'll get you a role.
I bet he would.
So, last week I'm camping up in the woods in Illinois. So I made sure to go on a low fiber diet for the week before.
What? Why?
Because I ain't using them shitters at that campground.
Why not?
So, ew. So I managed to actually go 5 days without taking a shit.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I come home. I was home for like 2 hours and I had a doctor's appointment on Monday in Owensboro. So my wife, she's like, hey, you want to go up to Owensboro, stay at a hotel? Sure, why not? Oh boy, was I so glad I did.
Did you go poop there?
I did. And I'm glad I didn't do that at home because I didn't want to pay for the plumbers.
Well, it's kind of funny that you bring up porta potties, though. Hang on, I'm in the process of bringing this up because I have 5 fascinating facts for you about porta potties.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be reading this as we go through it. All right. So the portable toilet, affectionately known as a porta potty, their origin was in the shipbuilding industry of Long Beach, California. These seemingly unassuming units addressed a real need in the industrial context rather than for outdoor events. So I guess back in the 40s and the 50s, shipyard workers faced an inconvenient and time-consuming problem when they had to take a dump. They had to abandon everything, leave the ship, and go running and try to make it to the bathroom, which caused a lot of construction site accidents, thus creating the invention of...
And not the OSHA kind of accidents.
No, not the OSHA kind of accidents. Thus creating the porta potty. Easy sanitation with healthier conditions and a more productive work environment were the goals for creating the porta potty. Little did they know.
Yeah.
All right.
Those things are sanitary.
Porta potties are actually vital during disaster management.
I could see that.
Due to the independence and portability from existing infrastructure, porta potties can be rapidly deployed during disaster relief, and provide immediate and access to. Once again, this is under question. Immediate access to safe and clean toilet facilities.
Well, in that instance, you really don't want to like contaminate your water with fecal matter and stuff like that. So yeah, having those on hand, as disgusting as they can get,
Right.
You say safe and sanitary until you see someone at a festival that's stuck in one that's got duct tape wrapped around it. And yes, it did happen at Full Terror Assault.
God.
Not to me, but I know the person that did the duct taping. And yes, he is a friend of mine.
I know a guy that had to broadcast for over 3 weeks in a porta potty.
That'd be shitty.
I'm sure it was a shitty experience. All right. Porta potties are actually very green, according to this.
I thought they were blue because of the
I thought they were blue. That shit looks blue. I think whoever wrote the article might be colorblind.
So, no, they're talking about like, environmentally green.
Well, yeah, that shit's full of fertilizer.
Traditional indoor toilet uses 1.6 gallons of water per flush. Porta potties, instead of using water, use a small amount of blue sanitation liquid that breaks down the turd, eliminates odor, and reduces the spread of bacteria, requiring no additional water. And porta potty uses 90% less water than its indoor counterpart.
You just don't drop
maybe I can do that with the water, but as far as break down the turd, then how come every time you walk into
nobody's been at a music festival,
there is always a lump of toilet paper with the biggest nastiest turd you ever seen in your life sitting on it? And as far as the smell,
oh God,
like fuck, you got to stay upwind of those things. I swear, you open up the door of a porta potty at a festival on day 2, and the flies buzzing will make you think of the Candy Man.
Okay, it's actually funny you bring that up. Because we go to fact number 4.
The flies.
Oh no, this is better. Despite their basic exterior, porta potties are marvels of practical engineering with their ingenious ventilation systems. Which serves as a dual purpose.
Whoever wrote this article, along with being colorblind, they have obviously never smoked or consumed drugs in a porta potty.
I know, right? It says it has a built-in ventilation system which serves a dual purpose, managing odor but enhancing the overall user experience with a more pleasant internal environment.
Oh, yeah, it'll enhance your user experience. You sit in that thing long enough and you'll see things that really aren't there. All that methane will start getting to your brain. Right? It'll start ripping your fucking balls off.
Well,
this airflow also plays a significant role in managing internal humidity. Bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, if you're at a festival and you go into a porta potty, you better be quick about it. Otherwise, you'll end up with the porta potty on its side.
Well, I've come to the conclusion the best time to use a porta potty at a festival is in the middle of the night, where it's cool enough that it's not fermenting in the heat, and there's no one around. You can leave the door cracked.
And then the final thing that they put in here is the science of sanitation. that the blue liquid is not just a choice of random choice of color. The concoction is called bluing and is a blend of blue dye, fragrance, and biocides. Each component in this trio has its specific contribution to the sanitation, odor control, and disease prevention of a porta potty. And the blue color provides a pleasant visual cue that the toilet is clean and ready to use.
Odor control my ass. I'm just saying.
Well, people,
I swear you can smell a porta potty before you even see it.
Right?
And this
go down I-55 in Illinois, you'll start smelling porta potties before you see the construction zone signs.
This particular article has been brought to you by Texas Johns out of Houston, Texas. Give them a call for all of your porta potty, fencing, dumpster, and street sweeping needs.
Yes, Corey.
Corey makes a valid point. Nothing better to go into piss in a porta potty. Love pissing on the roll of TP, a mountain of shit, tampons, a rubber or two, and sometimes cell phones, keys, and maybe a hat. Oh, God.
Oh, I love our listeners.
Yeah, I do too. Good Lord. Let's see. Back in February,
and someone done pissed all over the floor.
Oh man, yeah, I'm just telling you, it's amazing to me.
In the case of empty beer cans, that's the construction site porta potties.
That's the yeah, because they got to go somewhere to drink on their lunch break. Oh, let's see.
That's what the Mexican restaurant's for, you fucking idiots.
Well, I mean, when I was retreading tires, we used to go over to the local bar on Fridays and drink beer and eat pizza and then go back to work and paint tires and store them.
Well, that's why Top Fuel Saloon, if you look at it on Google Maps, it's actually on Google Maps as a restaurant, so the railroad people can go there for lunch.
Mike makes a good point, too. The state fair porta potties are even worse than a construction site. He's right.
Yeah. All the shit is international at that point, especially with, you know, like the
fried corn dogs and funnel cakes and everything deep fried just running through you, and you got that fat, greasy sweat and
right. No, it's I agree. I'm trying to see if I can find a conspiracy theory that involves a porta pot. Oh, wait. Whoa. Well, this ought to be good.
Well, here, I'll give you a fun fact. One more fun fact about porta potties, because, you know, everyone thinks that the Kentucky Derby is for all these hoity-toity rich fucks sitting up there on Millionaire's Row. It may be. But down there in the pits, they have the race for the porta potties, where the drunk people climb on top of the porta potties and race across them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, apparently fucking it gets pretty wild down in the pits at the Kentucky Derby. I definitely want to go.
Well, shit, I can't read that one, but I'm going to have to look this one up later, but it's called The Toilet Theory of the Internet.
That it's full of shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
But the internet is
it says toilet theory isn't necessarily literal. Mindless scrolling isn't limited to the bathroom. Plenty of idle or bored swiping happens during other down moments like waiting in line, sitting in gridlock traffic, and of course, pooping. It says most of the activity is generated from people scrolling on their phones while they're sitting in the bathroom.
So listen, as a dad, I can kind of feel this because sometimes that's the only time you get silence.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
Porta potties support local businesses.
Now, how the hell is that?
People eat their food and they go and shit.
About porta potties. Choosing to rent porta potties for your event can also mean supporting local businesses. Many porta potty providers are independent, locally owned companies that work hard to provide exceptional service to their community. Working with these businesses not only contributes positively to the local economy, but also helps establish meaningful connections within the community.
That's right. So support your local shitty jobs.
That's one way of wording it.
They have versatile placement options. They require little space and can positioned strategically to ensure easy access for guests without taking up valuable space needed for other event components.
Or, on the opposite side of a fairground from the food. So you have to run through all of the, like across the fairground.
Well, I mean, here, let me.
Well, they do that for a reason. Because they know when you're eating that funnel cake, you start heading to the bathroom. By the time you're done with that funnel cake, you're going to need that toilet. So it's timing. Well, yeah.
So they make it set up where you actually have to run to that toilet. So you got to look at other stuff as you're on the way.
Yep.
Then you're coming back and like, oh, well, hey, I'll check that out.
Hey, didn't I see the balloon darts around here somewhere?
Yeah, right. All right, you guys both have families at home. I honestly only have to deal with this for about 2 months out of the year, but the rest of the year I don't have to deal with this.
Okay.
So, but I remember when I was married and I had the family at home and I had to deal with this. Tell me if you guys have ran into this and see if you can follow where my theory is going to go with it. Have you ever gotten up because the prairie dog's knocking at the back door in the middle of the night? You go in the bathroom. You start pooping. It's dark. You're not trying to turn on lights or anything, wake up kids or wife or anything like that. And it's dark. And then you're done. And then you reach over to discover cardboard rather than toilet paper.
That don't happen in my house.
Yep. Nope. Before I sit, I always check. There must be a roll, especially since my house has 2 bathrooms.
Right.
I will run to that second bathroom if there's no toilet paper in the first one. After I'm done, I will restock that first bathroom so it doesn't happen to someone else.
Well, our bathroom has one of them little toilet paper roll holders right next to the toilet paper roll. So, I got like 4 toilet paper rolls right there.
Right.
There you go.
What about you guys in the chat room? Has that ever happened to you where you go in there and you're just like, I don't know, let's say it's like a drunken ass-splosion, okay?
Yeah, well, I'm automatically disqualified.
See, I thought you were going somewhere else because you said, you want to be quiet and don't disturb anyone. Fuck, if it's a good enough turd, the family's getting woken up. Hey, come take your house.
I mean, all right, so that makes it even worse. Like Mike says his grandson will do that, and he has to check before he goes to the bathroom, and if it needs TP, he's got to grab one off the shelf in the closet next to the bathroom.
Oh no, I keep the TP in each bathroom, so you don't have to go far.
Well, I used to keep my toilet paper under the. All right, we'll use my house that I had in Peoria. I used to keep the toilet paper under the sink in the bathroom, right? Now, most bathrooms, that sink is pretty close to the toilet, right?
Right.
Sometimes you may have to get up and try to keep the cheeks apart while you reach.
Right. That was that bathroom. Only it wasn't get up and try to keep them apart while you reach. You had to take like 4 steps past the bathtub to get to the sink so you could get the toilet paper out. And then you're like, you might as
Why
well
do you
have
need
had
a bathroom that fucking big?
I love that bathroom. I miss that
You
bathroom.
trying to get like his and her sinks in there?
I could have.
Put in a little urinal, little Uranus in the corner.
You know what I should have put in is a fucking bidet. That's what I should have put in.
Say a bidet. Actually, it's funny because my dad's old and he's got cancer and stuff. He got a bidet attachment for his toilet at home.
That's not a bad idea.
There you go.
Really?
But no, you go and then you get up. You got to do the waddle to get to the toilet paper, and then you kind of feel like a giant truck. You beep beep beep. You're backing back up to the toilet.
Or you step wrong and you get a shitty smear in your butt cheeks.
Yeah, right. Like, and then you finally get the toilet paper set up. Now you're cleaning even more back there.
Yeah.
To make sure you're cleaned up.
Better get the scrub brush.
Yeah, you almost need the butt brush. Like I do. I have a separate brush for scrubbing my ass. That is
Is it just a fish brush?
The other side of the washcloth.
No, I have the butt brush. That is, it gets its own soap. It is strictly for scrubbing my ass.
To reference a different show, do you have the Gooch Blaster? I mean,
no, I do not have that. Not enough water pressure. But I do have a butt brush. It is there for literally for scrub. There's my loofah. There's the butt brush that is on the opposite side of the shower. And then I've got, a facial scrubber. And yeah, I have 3 different things that I use to scrub myself. Here's one. This is a good one. I think Chris and you and I may have gone over this many years ago, but this is a great one. It just popped into my head. One of those things that's very rarely discussed. Men.
Everybody pees in the shower.
Yes, everybody pees. We've discussed that a lot. But no, I want to go over this one. Men. All right. All of us men, we are guilty of this. In the garage working, covered in grease. Pizza arrives. Fuck it. Eat the pizza. You're still covered in grease. Time to go take a piss. You are scrubbing every last inch of that fucking grease off of you so you can piss.
But yeah, 'cause you might use your unit later, hopefully.
Is that the reason?
That's my reason.
Damn Skippy.
But you'll walk up and grab the old lady's bare ass with a greasy hand.
That's usually on the outside.
I'm going to put a stain on her pants and mark my territory.
Yeah.
I mean,
but if I'm going at her with if I'm going at her with my crank, she's not going to want a greasy crank.
I didn't say you were going to stick it in her mouth.
That's that Pennzoil lubricant. High mileage shit.
Honey, which lube should we use tonight? The Astroglide, the KY?
NW30.
No, let's use the Valvoline.
Vaseline. Fuck that. We got Valvoline.
Got that 10W30 on point.
Oh, don't worry, it's high mileage to it's high mileage to protect from viscosity and thermal breakdown.
Yes, and erosion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't want your penis to erode away.
Yeah.
It's also good for box maintenance.
You better talk to the zombies about that one.
They ain't gonna understand.
The zombies ain't gonna understand how to use the Valvoline for box maintenance.
Yeah, no. They ain't no.
I'm trying to understand how you would use Valvoline for box maintenance.
Well, it's just like how you would lubricate the piston head. You would lubricate the hole that the piston head goes into. So
The
that
cylinder?
yes, thank you.
Oh.
Cylinder. The valve. The male and female plugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's almost the But no, I'm telling you, man, it's like everybody I know.
Being said, ladies and gentlemen, may all of your ups and downs be in the bedroom.
Well, I'll say amen to that. But you know, I'm gonna go back to this. Like, I'm blown away. Piece of pizza, burger, chicken. Hell, it could be a salad. Covered in grease. Oh, eating it with your hand. Don't matter. Time to piss. You're breaking out the bar of lava soap and scrubbing that shit off.
Yeah.
Like it's a surgical procedure. You're walking away from the sink like this to the towel so you can dry your hands before taking that.
Sterilizing that shit.
Yep.
I mean, I know truck drivers that will spray hand sanitizer before and after they take a dump behind their trailer.
Actually, alcohol is really good for getting a lot of that shit off your hands when
It
you're.
really is. There's no denying that. It really is. I mean, let's face it. It's there's so much that, like, women, you'll never see a woman covered in fucking grease go and eat anything covered in grease. Never.
I've seen a woman with grease under her fingernails fucking put her sandwich down on her fucking welder, continue welding, and I thought, oh my God, that's the fucking hottest thing I've ever seen.
You know what they call that woman?
A keeper, wife material.
Marriage material. Yes, exactly.
Speaking of which, do you guys remember the old Hardee's commercials when they would show the hot chick eating one of the big burgers?
Yes.
Oh,
and it'd be
yeah.
dripping all over her face.
Oh, yeah.
That it kind of goes back to something Rodney Carrington said. Many years ago, he said this.
Dear penis.
You can, as long as you've got a hot girl in the ad, you are going to increase your sales. You could be selling shit buckets. And as there's a hot girl there where she lays back in like a bikini and she goes, and then you put up your fucking picture of your shit bucket, you're going to run out of shit buckets.
Sex sells.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And drugs sell themselves.
Yes, drugs are very good at selling themselves. But it's like, again, I
They
go
don't
back
need
and I
marketing.
Well, I go back and I look again at the differences in the generations, and I'm thinking about it again. It's running through my head again. Our generation was like, we had the Sports Illustrated swimsuit phone.
Yeah.
Granted, it was $69.99 plus shipping and handling, but damn it, we had the Sports Illustrated swimsuit phone.
And it was no different than your regular phone, except for it had a Sports Illustrated sticker on it.
Right, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Whereas the Mickey Mouse phone was actually in the shape of Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then the Sports Illustrated football phone was in the shape of a football.
Football, yeah.
Yeah. But the
They had the
swimsuit
Harley
no,
phone. That's a bike.
Well, I mean, what should the swimsuit model phone have been? Just a set of
Titties.
breasts or an
Titties.
ass?
Yeah. It should have
Yes.
been a sculpture of a swimsuit model that you get to speak of, that you get to pick up and talk through her butthole to your good buddy.
I don't know if I'd want to talk through her butthole. Flip it around. Let's talk through the other end.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't the
Well, then you got her
butthole be
butthole
the
up against your ear.
speakerphone?
Huh?
I'm thinking the butthole should be the speakerphone.
Well,
I'm
I'd
thinking the
want
boobs are
up
at the
against my
ear,
ear
and then
maybe
down
just-
then you're talking into the vagine.
Yeah,
as
the
the mic.
boobs are the earpiece and the box is the mouthpiece.
Right.
There you go.
That's the way they should have done it. No, they put a sticker on a regular phone.
Fuck, I could have done that.
Yeah, for like $4.
Shit, not even. Stickers were like 10 cents back in the day.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Well,
But
$4 today.
But if Sports
Inflation's
Illustrated
a
is slapping
bitch.
the sticker on there and selling it for like $65, you might as well just take a $4 phone, slap a sticker on it, and sell it for like $20.
Well, I was thinking about,
Nowadays, you can find that phone at Goodwill for $5 and probably talk them down to $2.
no shit, right? I was actually thinking about going out and buying a bunch of burner phones with their first card, and then slapping a Mayhem sticker on it, and it'd say, "Hey, that's $50."
Yeah.
Pick up those burner flip phones for like 10, and then slap a Mayhem Unleashed sticker on it, or a Mayhem's Amigos sticker on it. They go, "We're marketing these for $50 each."
See who buys them.
Hey,
Nobody would.
I'd love to get and sell these Asgard Zippos.
Right?
But I paid $50 for it, and I ain't gonna sell a Zippo for more than that, so no room.
No.
Unless you're talking like a vintage Zippo Slim from the 70s or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And those are very, very, very difficult to get your hands on.
They are, but there are actually people that don't know what they have getting rid of their Zippo
It's true.
collections.
That is
Like-
very true. Man, we got some conspiracy. We got some mental health talk. We got to talk about titties. That was less
Shitty education.
we even got to learn about the positives of a porta potty. And pretty much down check every one of them.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to Asgard Radio on Saturday, I will have the full story of me telling the woman to put her titties away.
Oh, good Lord.
And I will have the full details of all of our full terror assault shenanigans.
I am surprised you told a woman to put her titties away. That just blows me away.
Well, and it was messed up because I walked up to them. She was sitting in her chair at her campsite. And at first I thought it was a man.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'm sitting there talking to her and I'm like, all of a sudden it clicked in my brain, dude, that's a woman and her tits are like sagging down to her waist, like hanging down her side at her waist. I'm like, ew. And then I go down to the fucking festival area and I'm with my best friend Steve and we're like 3 other guys sitting at the bar, and all of a sudden she comes walking around and sits over across the way, and I'm like, dude, look. And they're all like, ew, and I just put your tits away.
Anyone else think it's weird that the self-proclaimed god of tits and wine told
was
this woman
offended by a set of tits? Yes.
Hey, because I am the god of tits and wine, because I know there are some titties that done ran their mileage and wear and don't need to be seen anymore. Maybe back in the day they were okay to look at, but after a certain age and a certain level, you just don't need to see them no more.
Are you sure that just wasn't, the universe getting even with you for calling yourself the god of tits and wine?
Oh no, that was not the universe getting itself even.
Would you admit it if it was?
Let me just send you some more photos from the weekend.
Uh-oh.
Oh Lord, my phone's gonna be blowing up all night. See what I mean?
It's okay. I got it too.
God, dude, really?
Yeah.
With that being said, we're coming up on it, so let's get some final thoughts in. Chris, final thoughts tonight.
Ooh, final thoughts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. Always support local music. Always support independent music. Well, buy the ticket. Go to the show. Yeah, you can hear all about more of the Full Terror Assault shenanigans, like I said, Saturday morning. And don't be silly. Wrap up your willy and yeah, have a good fucking weekend.
Adam, final thoughts tonight.
To piggyback off of Chris, don't forget to support your local shit closet. You know?
Yeah, support your porta potty distributors.
You know? Because without them, the shit wouldn't go anywhere.
And some people just got to have a shitty job.
Oh my God. I'm going to start looking up shit like that more often because, Jesus, you guys are running with this.
Hey.
I have got to find more like, you know, tales from the porta potty or something. I wonder if they got that, like tales from the porta potty, you know, kind of like tales from the crypt.
Yeah.
You ever call any of them numbers on the porta potty or bathroom walls?
Fuck no.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
I don't think I need herpes from that good time.
What if you end up going hang gliding or bungee jumping or it's something really fucking cool?
Yeah, I bet they got something you can bungee
What if
jump
you just
off
want to
of.
ride go-karts?
Yeah, right, okay.
Good
Sunday
fun.
night,
That's fun.
Sunday evening, we will be doing again Mayhem's Amigos, and we will be back 6 p.m. Sunday night. In the meantime, everybody have a great weekend. Be safe out there, and we will see you then. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of the show. I'm TJ. That's Adam. That's Chris. And this has been Amigos After Dark. Good night.
Good night, everyone.